Hey, hi, hello, welcome back. My name is Emily Webster. I'm a 6th year second grade teacher in North Texas, and welcome to this month's monthly reset. If you're new here, my goal is this year to have a monthly reset for every single month, and during this time, I clean the apartment that has been a little bit neglected, and we talk through some goals and how the month went and just recap together. Now, full disclosure, it is March 5th when I'm doing this. You're gonna find out why I'm a little late to the game here. The illness just keeps coming this year. Like, if you've fallen victim to the flu this year or even COVID, I feel ya. So, I was ill, but we're here and we're ready to clean. So you're going to see some time lapses and some videos of me cleaning. We're going to talk about the month, and then we're going to talk about some goals for the next month. Spoiler alert, I really did not do super great on all my goals, but that's okay. We're here, we're doing the thing, and we're getting the video recorded. So settle in. Maybe this is motivation for you to clean your space too and reset your space. Or maybe you just want to hang out with me and, have a little podcasty style of a video. So let's get started. All right, so we are back with another voiceover and another monthly reset routine. And I am going to be so honest with you. I was beating myself up because it's taken me so long to get this voiceover done and get this video up. And then I have to remind myself that I am basically working 2 full-time jobs and that I need to give myself a little bit more grace. And you know what? I'm here and I'm doing the thing, and we get better each and every time that we do one of these. So anyway, thank you for sticking around here. I do have some new friends. So hey, if you're one of those new friends, I'm really glad that you're here. I hope you choose to stick around even after you see all of the weird, funky angles in this video, as well as my bare feet. I do put some socks on a little bit later, but I was like, oh my goodness, Emily, this is probably the most awkward couple of angles and view of myself that I've ever had. But anyway, welcome back to this month's reset and this month's voiceover. And let's recap February, shall we? I have these in little buckets, if you will, in my notes, and so hopefully it's a little bit more organized and flows a little bit better, and I kind of know what I'm doing this time. So there's that. But we're going to start off with just personal things that went on, and the first thing that happened, ready, drum roll please, I got COVID. Who still gets COVID in 2025 is beyond me. I know it is still around, it is still a thing, but I was honestly so shocked when I ended up getting sick. It was honestly a little miserable. If I'm being honest with you, it was a few days before Valentine's Day, and I sat down in front of my students. It was 1 o'clock, I will never forget. I looked out at my sea of children who were bouncing off the walls, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have been hit by a bus. And I just felt so terrible, but I didn't have a fever. I was like, what is going on? To be honest, I thought that I had the flu because that was going around just running rampant. Like, there was a week where we had at least 7 kids out in my classroom. And when I went to go get a flu test, it came back negative, and the doctor at the Minute Clinic did not test me for COVID. So I got my own test for flu because I was like, there's no way that I'm not sick with something. And sure enough, it was COVID. And this was really sad because I had to miss Valentine's Day. And I'm not really a big Valentine's Day person, but when it comes to celebrating Valentine's Day at school, I love it. I love exchanging Valentines. I had a full tutu. I think you've seen it if you've seen another video, but I was so pumped, and so I had to miss Valentine's Day last minute, and that was really hard because I had to find a sub last minute, and the kids were upset, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later, but I had received a not so pleasant sub note after that round of me being gone, and so it was just a bummer for me and the kids. So that was my big one. But on a happier note, we went to 2 weddings in the month of February. Oh my goodness, love was just in the air. And I have to share with you that attending weddings now after planning our own is just so much more fun. I always loved weddings before, but now it's so much more fun because Nick, my husband, and I get to participate in the couples dance, if you will, the one where it's like the competition where if you dance with your significant other and then they say if you've been married this long, you have to step out. And so we finally get to participate in that, and it's so much fun. And it's also just so much fun being on the other side of wedding plannings, and I absolutely loved it. So one of them we stayed up in Dallas for, and then the other one we got to travel down to Houston, and that was great because it was a little weekend trip for Nick and I took a day off school to be able to go, and while we were there, we got to celebrate our friend's baby's first birthday, and that was also just so much fun. I love getting to celebrate birthdays and get to hang out with our friends, and it was just a really good time. So anyway, as I'm adjusting the camera here, yep. Okay. And then I'm really proud of this one. So we're going to talk about our goals a little bit later, but I'm really proud of the fact that my friend Emily and I, shout out to Emily if you're watching this, hey girl, she actually made the sweatshirt that I'm wearing. She's very, very talented. But we have stuck to our workout routine, and we've even added a day. So I said we were going to add one day to make it 2. Well, we're actually now doing 3 days a week, and it has just been the most life-giving thing, I think, for the two of us, because when we lived together in Kansas, would go to the YMCA, I kid you not, at 10 o'clock at night after her little one would go to sleep, and she was with her parents at the time, but after her little one would go to sleep, and we would work out at night. And so now we've traded our late nights for early mornings, and it has just been so incredibly amazing. I love that we get to work out together, and I feel a lot stronger, and it's been really good. And in addition to that, I have been cooking at home a whole lot more, and we have found new recipes that we absolutely love, and it's just been really sweet. So we've grown a lot in those areas. So while some of my other goals have kind of like been pushed to the wayside because of illness and just other things, at least I have been working out and cooking at home, and like just my overall self has been so much better. Also, I'm laughing at myself because I always think that the camera is not going to record, so I end up looking at it. I know that I should just like post and go, but I just cannot seem to do that. So here we are. Okay, now let's talk about school. Whew, school. School has just been so stinking busy. I feel like there is no downtime anymore. We are on everyone says that from January to March is like the worst time. And while sometimes I agree, I actually think the hardest time of year is from after spring break until summer, because there really is no time off. At least from January to spring break, you know you have a week coming up. You have a 3-day weekend in January, and then you also have a 3 to 4 day weekend in February, depending on what your school does. And so I actually like that one a little bit more than spring, because when spring comes around, I just want to be outside because the weather's nice and I'm cooped up and it's like kind of miserable. So that's just my opinion on it. But it's been so stinking busy. And then I was out for 3 days. One of them for me being sick for COVID, and that one was stressful. The second day because I went to Houston. And then a third day because I was participating in something called a teacher leader cohort. And that is something that my school does that I think is just really, really special, is they take teachers who they see a lot of leadership potential in, and they coach them up and help them become better teacher leaders. And so I was out for that, and that was really fantastic. But I did have a little bit of anxiety being gone for each one of those because of that not so great sub I had on Valentine's Day when I was out sick. We also have been getting ready for open house, which once you see this video, open house will have already happened, but you know, all of the projects and things that go with that, they're projects that we're already doing, but we want to make sure we get them done for open house. And I will have to post a video on all of the cool things that we've done, because I'm really proud of our kiddos and all the things that they have accomplished. And then I am going to use this as a time to talk about what I said I was going to do with grades. As far as grades go, I really did my best to stay on top of it, but if I'm being honest with you, that was so much easier said than done, simply because I was sick and the work piled up, and then I didn't feel well enough to want to grade it, and so I did get behind. And you know what? It is what it is. But you know what? Sloppy progress is still progress. Am I right? And then I will also say I did do a fantastic job at leaving at contract hours. I didn't do this every day, but I did my best. I really, really did my best. I wasn't able to do it as much as I wanted to, but I did my best, and it helped that, like, as a team, we worked hard to try and leave at contract hours together, and that made it a lot easier. One of my teammates, her name is Sammy, she is really great at leaving at contract hours, and so I had her hold me accountable, and she'd be like, Emily, time to go, get your backpack, do all the things. So I really loved that. And then finally, I'm really, really proud of this one, actually. I officially led a professional development all by myself for the district. So I led PD by myself at my school about whole brain teaching, and then I did the whole brain teaching professional development at another school, and then I did it for the district, and my session was full, and everybody loved it, and I was so proud of myself, and it was one of the most exhilarating experiences because, again, it was a goal that I had of mine, and I just am really proud of it. And I don't think, oh no, this was in January, but I think I'll tell you now. I won a PTA Citizenship Award for the professional development that I was doing. So, anywho. Hello, welcome back. Here's a water cheers. Green for March. And if you cannot tell, based off my shirt that says life is better with sprinkles that I made last year for ice cream day, it's a completely different day. And I was feeling guilty about this, and I actually wasn't even going to post this video if I'm being completely honest. And I was feeling super guilty about it because I said, oh, I'm gonna do these monthly reset videos. I did 1 month and then stopped. And honestly, I feel like that's my MO, and I don't want that to be my MO. But then I watched a video by Victoria Leet, who I believe is Life with Mrs. Leet on YouTube and Instagram. And I say she's a friend of mine. I actually have never spoken to her in real life, but she does follow me on my Instagram, so I feel like we're kind of friends, right? But she was talking about, in her latest video, the things she no longer does now that she's a teaching mom. And one of those was picking up, like, she'll pick up things when she has the time for it. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's what I needed to hear today, because she was recording this video and she had like recorded it a month ago, picked it up to record a month ago, did part of it, and then she had to put it to the wayside because she has kids and she's teaching and doing all the things. And then she picked it back up again. You know what? Here we are. I may have recorded those clips 2 weeks ago, and I'm just now sitting down to film it now. But you know what? The point is that I'm here and I'm really proud of that. So I'm here, I'm doing the thing, and we're getting better each and every day. At least now we're to a point where I'm still gonna put it up there even if it's late. Okay, so we're here, we're doing the things. We have our notes, and we're going to talk about all the things that we hope to accomplish in the rest of this month and continue moving forward. So, starting off with school, here's what I would like to do. I want to stay on top of my grades. That is just so hard for me, and I don't really know what it is. I think there's just so much going on in a given day that I can just not get caught up. And you know what? It's okay. We're doing our very, very best. So staying on top of my grade. Well, what this looks like exactly is me going through my grading bin daily. I need to set aside time after school every day to just go through the grading bin, take out what is a grade, and then pass back what is not. Because sometimes I'll tell the kids that it's a grade even though it's not, because I need them to like try their best on the assignment. So anyway, there is that. Next, I want to continue leaving at or close to contract hours. That has been the best thing for my mental health because it has allowed me to just really enjoy the evenings a little bit more, maybe go to the grocery store, cook a really good meal for my husband and myself, and just like really help me separate personal life from work. And so I want to continue doing that. And then finally, I really just want to finish strong up into the end of the school year. This is the time of year where I mentioned it earlier, like when the weather is nice, I just want to be outside and I want it to be summer, and I just don't want anything to fall to the wayside. So I want to just finish strong, and I'm hoping that YouTube helps hold me accountable to that, because when I'm filming it, I tend to do a little bit better job at those things. So there is school. For my personal / health, something that my husband and I have started is nightly walks with one another. And we have actually just celebrated our 1-year wedding anniversary last weekend. And so that's been just like the sweetest thing. It is hard to believe that we have been married for an entire year. I genuinely cannot believe it. But something that we've started in the last week or so has been nightly walks together after work. And why I love this so much is it's time for us just to talk to one another after work. And I find that I'm like a little bit more willing to talk about my day when we're out on a walk. Our apartment is really cool because behind the apartment complex is a 3/4 mile nature trail. And so we'll walk and we get to enjoy nature. We just get to talk. And it has just been the most beautiful thing for our marriage, really. So that's something that I want to continue. And it's really helped us grow together. And then I want to keep our meal plan going strong. So the calendar, I didn't have clips of it this time because it just didn't fit, but I have been loving our little calendar that goes on the fridge, and we've been sticking strong to our meal plan. We do still eat out sometimes because as a couple, we absolutely love Chick-fil-A, but I want to keep that going because it's been really good for us to be able to sit down and have dinner together and enjoy new recipes and try to cook more, and it's just been really great. In a weird turn of events, it's helped me keep the kitchen a little bit cleaner. I know that sounds crazy because when you cook, you have more dishes, but it's helped me stay on top of chores a little bit more, so I've loved that. And then I want to continue working out 3 times per week. I did not know when I set my word discipline for the year what it would turn into, but it has been not only like the physical discipline of doing the hard things, even when I don't want to, but also the mental discipline of things. And that's been really neat. So I want to keep that going strong. And in addition to our little workout routine in the morning, I want to add in a jogging or running routine, and we'll see how that goes. I think I want to do the couch to 5K. My husband and I did do 1 day of it, so I think I want to continue that and then have our end goal be that we run a 5K together. I think that would be so sweet. Okay. All right, YouTube. Oh goodness. I make plans and the Lord laughs. That's how I feel sometimes. But my goal, be as consistent as possible. And you know what? We're doing it right now. We're being as consistent as possible. And here's what I think is going to help. I feel like I'm running on a hamster wheel of recording a video and then editing and then posting, like basically all in the same day. And that is just too much for me. It is genuinely too much. So what I need to do is give myself some buffer room and get ahead and batch record some sit down videos. And the beauty of that is, as you're seeing this, I am on spring break, so I'm gonna pick a day, probably in a few days from now because I'm going home to Kansas, but I need to pick a day where I just sit down and my sole focus that day is batch recording as many YouTube videos as humanly possible. The ideas are free flowing up here. I have so many ideas. I feel like I have so much to share. And then when I sit down in front of a camera, crickets, I freeze. And I really don't know what it is. Like a vlog, no big deal. These types of videos, no big deal. But when I feel like I'm ready to share something like teaching wise, I just feel like it's not good enough. I feel like everybody else has better ideas, or the ideas I have already been shared, which is just not true because I tell people all the time what is obvious to you is probably not obvious to other people, and you have your own way of doing things. So I just need to take my own advice, sit down and record sit down videos. That way I can edit them and then schedule them to post, so that way I don't feel like I'm on a hamster wheel of trying to do all of the school things, all of the YouTube things, all of the TikTok things, all of the Instagram things, because I genuinely can't do it all. And my brain is just like flooded. And then when I make a goal and I can't achieve that goal, I just get really anxious and then I shut down. So that was a long ramble to tell you that I am going to sit down and batch record YouTube videos. So please tell me what you want to see. I know that one of them I want to record because I really have all the things for it. Actually, there's two of them. One of them is the magic of whole brain teaching. And then the other one is my top 7 favorite cooperative learning strategies. And I keep looking over there on the bed because hold on. I have all of the things that I want to talk about in a bag, and I just haven't recorded the video because, again, I sit down to record it and crickets. It's really terrible, really. So be praying for me for that. So be as consistent as possible, batch record videos. And then the other thing I want to do is record B-roll. I always forget about this. I could be doing mundane things in my classroom, like sharpening pencils, and record B-roll so that way I can put text on top of it and then I have an Instagram reel or a TikTok. So those are the things. It's gonna be okay. We're all gonna take a collective deep breath and they're gonna get done. And you know what? Those of you that stay, like, you must believe in me because I really appreciate it, because sometimes I don't really believe in myself. So thank you for being here. And then finally, my financial goals. I just have one of them. Actually, there's two. One, I want to continue to save money. That's something that my husband and I have been doing a really good job at. Our ultimate goal is to buy a house. I really just want to get out of this apartment so badly. And so save money, as well as set up a meeting with a financial advisor. I think that's going to be our next best course of action moving forward. And you know what? Fingers crossed that a home is in our future within the next year or two. So anyway, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for listening to me ramble. I know we went through those kind of like rapid fire, but I would love to know, how is your March going? What are you looking forward to? What are some goals that you have? And if you've made it this far in the video, leave me a 4-leaf clover. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so that way other teachers just like you can find the joy in teaching too. I'll see you in next week's video. Bye!